During twin flame separation, it is very common for the runner twin flame to ghost or even block the chaser twin flame. It is very common to have gaps in communication. And oftentimes we blame ourselves. We're like, did we do something wrong? Did I say something wrong? Does he not like me anymore? Am I not good enough? And usually this ghosting has absolutely nothing to do with us and everything to do with the connection and everything to do with healing. Separation is preparation, and separation is the time we use to heal. So ghosting is often divinely orchestrated so that both parties can do their healing. My name is Angela Cleary. I'm a feminine empowerment coach, and I specialise in healing after narcissistic abuse. Your twin flame is your divine counterpart, the other half of your soul, your one true love. And it's not like regular 3D connections. It's not like regular even soulmate connections. It is otherworldly. And because of this, it's not going to be fucking easy. It's probably the biggest roller coaster you will ever ride in your whole life. And that's hard. It's very hard because you're kind of like, shouldn't this be easy? If it's divine love, why isn't it easy? Why is it so fucking complicated? Why is there so much pain involved? But the whole concept of twin flames is to bring you back to yourself. It's to reawaken you to the truth within your soul, to reawaken you to your divine gifts, but also to reawaken you to what unconditional love is really about. And that's the unconditional love for yourself first, and then for everything around you. So this is the process, or the whole point really of twin flame connections, is to heal your heart, heal your childhood trauma, heal past relationship trauma, and even heal past life traumas. So when we get ghosted on this journey, we get a little bit in our heads. This ego battle comes in. It's like fight or flight. It's like self-sabotage mode. It's like, what do we do? What's going on? You know, when the twin flame ghosts, and the twin flame can ghost you for hours, days, whatever. It doesn't matter. Like, you know, when you're this is the thing. The ghosting is a trigger to help you heal. And this is, right, we'll start here. The reason a twin flame may ghost is because of the soul shock, the overwhelm of the intensity of the connection, but the overwhelm of being faced with all your shit, all at once. All your trauma, all your pain, all your heartache, all this shit that you need to shed from the 3D world. These self-limiting beliefs, you know, your whole world. Like, this is the thing. Your twin flame can trigger your awakening, your spiritual awakening, or your life awakening, whatever, your heart awakening. And this fucks you up. And that's the thing, right? We tend to get, as the ghostee, we'll call it, we tend to get up in our heads. We tend to get angry. We tend to get frustrated. We tend to get bitter. We're like, what the fuck is he treating me like this for? Or what the fuck did I do wrong? Or, you know, once again, it comes back to like, am I not good enough? Am I not worthy? Am I not worthy to be chosen? But this is very important to look at, because every trigger is a guide. The trigger is your shit. The trigger isn't because they did anything wrong. The trigger is because of your unhealed trauma. And a lot of the time, the twin flame that ghosts is going through his own triggers, you know, and you have to be like, usually the ghoster is the less awakened twin flame, or maybe even the divine masculine in my case. And, you know, you have to understand, right? And this is something I keep forgetting, because I'm up in my head with this ego battle, and I'm back in the 3D. That's the thing, like, you know, when we're ghosted and we have stuff to heal, we go back into that 3D mentality. We're like, why me? Oh, why isn't this working? What's going on? But you see, you have to see this as a reflection. They're ghosting you because they're going through triggers, but you're being ghosted so that you can go through triggers. The universe divinely orchestrated this so that you can heal as well. The ghosting happens so that you can have space to heal. You know, and the more you get frustrated, the more that you get angry, the more that you get bitter, this is going to repel it and make things more delayed. You have to understand these triggers are yours to face. These triggers are your healing. And understand as well that your divine masculine he's going through an awakening, right? You know, he may have been going through a life awakening unconsciously, but when he met you, you awakened him to his spirituality, to divine connections, to the reality, which is the spiritual reality. And, you know, they have to try and escape the matrix and go through all this shit, as well as heal all their past traumas, all in one. You've had, like, for me personally, I've been awakening since 2018. So I've had, like, what is it, 6 years plus, nearly 7 years, I think, to go through multiple awakenings, multiple heart awakenings, multiple spiritual awakenings, and go through my shit over 6-7 years. And it was fucking hard. It's still hard. Every day is still, you know, a learning thing. But you have to understand that your twin flame is going through the same shit you went through, but in a shorter space of time. You know, and obviously your healing and your growth is going to help with this energetically. But we need to be patient with them as well, because they're like, you know, and that's the thing, right? We're getting triggered because of this this ghosting or whatever. And then you understand, like, you know, okay, this is stuff that I need to heal. And, you know, if you're the awakened one, and you're going through these triggers and you're going through this ego battle and you're going through all this up and down topsy-turvy energy, how the fuck are they going to be feeling? Because it's mirrored energy anyway, but you know what's going on. I've been studying twin flames since 2019. You know, I've been through the catalyst journey. I've been through these kind of this scenario. I've studied and I've restudied. I've went through that research over and over and over and over again. And it's prepared me for this. But it still fucks me up, like. And, you know, if it fucking still fucks me up and I know what's going on, how the fuck is my twin going to feel? So we have to be more compassionate in that sense. Do you know what I mean? And this is what I understood as well. Because, like, you know, I've been going through that ego battle the last couple of weeks, and I've been like, you know, 1 minute it's like anger, it's bitterness, it's like my self-worth, my lack of self-worth comes up, I feel unworthy, I feel frustrated that I'm being treated badly, and I'm not being treated badly. I just perceive it that way. And that's the thing. We create red flags, or we self-sabotage, because we just expect this to be the same as an old relationship. We expect to get hurt. And that's the thing. That's what I understood yesterday. Because, like, the first week of this ego battle, I was good. Like, you know, when the ego quietened and the soul came in, I was buzzing. I was at this peace. I was at this calm. I was at this knowing. But this week, it was the opposite. And I'm like, instead of getting excited every time I get a text, I'm kind of like getting angry. And I'm like I'm picking red flags, or I'm creating a self-sabotage scenario. And I just had to sit with myself yesterday. It was getting too heavy. Yesterday was very heavy energy, very low energy. Now, this could be collective, because I know a friend of mine was going through an ego battle there lately as well. Do you know, so I do think that collectively we are going through this ego death at the moment. But yesterday, this energy was just so just really had me weighed down, really upset, really lethargic. And I just had to sit with myself. And I turned around and I just said, what are you feeling right now? And the minute I asked myself what I was feeling, my heart started to hurt. And I was like, wow, my heart is hurting. Why is my heart hurting? And I came to realize that, you know, I'm building my wall back up brick by brick. Well, actually, it's steel doors at this stage, you know, and I'm welding it up piece by piece. And that's what I came to realize, because of my insecurities and my stuff that still needs to be healed. I've been expecting the worst, right? I've been expecting that same old shitty energy. And what am I getting? That same old energy. What you expect, you attract. But also what I realized was, every time I got a message, instead of feeling heart open and excited about what was to come next, I was getting, my walls were closing in more and more. They were getting higher and higher. And I was like, right, so obviously I'm afraid to be hurt, but the reason my walls are going up is because of stuff that I need to face. And also I said to myself last night when I was doing this, I was just like, my block, my wall, is creating an energetic block. It is. Like, you know, how is my twin flame going to get through if I'm energetically blocked? Now, when I come out of these ego battles, our telepathy is stronger. So in the evening, I'm actually more relaxed. We're actually getting through a lot of stuff together on the 5D realm. So, you know, I'm in a better energy. But yesterday I was just this heavy energy, and I had to understand why. And that's it. Every time I'm getting a message, I'm putting up a bigger wall because I'm expecting the worst. And this is because of my own shit, but it's also creating that energetic block. How is anyone going to be able to get through a wall? So if you keep building that wall bigger and bigger? And that's what I realized about this ghosting, is that it's there for a reason. What is it within you that needs to be healed? Because this is it, like, we're putting up more walls because of this ghosting, but that's what delays stuff. This is what we need to understand. What is it that still needs to be healed within you? And then I sat with that, and I was like, why am I building this wall back up? Why am I so afraid? What am I afraid of? And I'm afraid of the past repeating itself. I'm afraid of being hurt again. I'm afraid that I'm not good enough, and I'm afraid that I'm not worthy. And I'm afraid that I'm not good enough to be chosen. And like, that's back to this thing that I keep saying to myself. No one is going to choose you until you choose yourself, until you heal those wounds, until you heal that inner child, and until you heal that trauma. We should be in a place where we don't need that external validation, because you and your twin are always connected on the astral realm. And that's it. Like, you know, I'll go through this shit, this anger, this bitterness, this crying, this frustration, this lack of self-worth. And I'll work through that next stage. And then I'll come back into the reality, which is the 5D. And I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, this is not a real connection. This is not a regular connection. This is an otherworldly connection. This isn't going to be worked out with 3D action, in a sense, you know. And this is the ego battle we go through. It's like 1 minute we're concentrating on the 3D and we're expecting everything to be the way a normal relationship is, whatever that is anyway, and you're kind of concentrating on that, and then you're all in your head, you're all in your insecurities, you're all in your mood, your anger, your bitterness. And then when you work through that and you start to come back to yourself, and then you start to feel the 5D side of things again, and you're like, oh, for fuck's sake, you know, why am I listening to the lies of the 3D mind, and why am I not just trusting in what I feel in my soul? And this is what it's all about. You know, every trigger is yours to heal. And the reason they're ghosting is because they're going through triggers as well. This is mirrored energy. And the more you come closer to union, the mirroring gets stronger. The telepathy gets stronger, but the mirroring gets stronger. You're going through the same fucking shit. But as I said, you're the more awakened one. So therefore you're kind of going, you're feeling like shit, you're going through the shit, but you know what's going on. Your twin is going through this blind, in a sense. They're going through, they're kind of knowing, unless they're doing the research behind closed doors, which I'm sure they are, they're still kind of going, and like, it's so hard. We all know how hard it is to let the 5D win. Like, I as I said, I've been studying twin flames since 2019, but when the 3D comes in, I'm still like, you know, I forget the 5D for a minute. I forget that this is a spiritual connection because I have this stuff to heal. And, you know, especially when you're in the early stages of spiritually awakening, it's hard to believe your soul over your ego because, you know, this shit is crazy. To the 3D matrix mind, this shit is crazy. But in reality, to the actual soul within us, to our hearts, to what's true, it's not crazy. This is actually us coming back to the truth. And we're shedding the false 3D system. You know what I mean? But to try and break out of the matrix into this spiritual energy, that's fucking hard. And to have that all come in at once, you know, through your twin, in a sense, because of reconnection or an activation of more energy. And that's the thing, any connection, any kind of contact, that's it. Like, you know, the separation could be ghosting for weeks, months, even years. But then you reconnect and that activates something. And even if you reconnect by text message, that will activate something. So every communication activates a new level of healing, activates something more within you, opens up something more within you. So every correspondence, and especially if you meet physically, it's going to be a big activation. And that's a fact, like, do you know what I mean? That's why I think my walls went up so quickly, is because I was just like, oh my God, what's going fucking on? But like, it reactivates something. So every time there's a text message or even, you know, one bit of correspondence, it's going to activate the next bout of healing. So there has to be a little bit of time in between the next message, because you're going through this heavy energy. You're going through all these triggers. And that's where we need to have the compassion. And, you know, this is hard for me, because you kind of go, you know, what do I do next? Like, what you do next is do you. You do your healing. You know what I mean? Use this time. And that's it. I'll go through one of these ego battles and I'll have my purge and I'll go through those emotions. And then I say thank you for this fucking space, because I'm glad I've the space to do this healing alone. I've heard of twin flames being in a relationship, doing the work alongside each other. And that's harder because sometimes when twin flames get together, both unawakened, and they start to evolve together within the relationship, it's hard for them not to break up and go back together and break up and get back together. It's actually harder to be in, when you're going through all these raw emotions, this rawness, you don't want anyone to see you like that, and you don't want your twin to see you like that. So you want to keep back, you want to keep them from worrying about you as well, but you want to keep them from seeing you in this vulnerable state, because we're afraid to be vulnerable. That's another thing as well. With this healing, we have to be vulnerable. We have to get to a stage where we're okay with that vulnerability. But we have to get to a stage where we're okay without it. We have to get to a stage where we're so happy and loving within ourselves. We don't seek outside ourselves for that external validation. But it's also knowing that you're always connected to your twin flame. They have chosen you. You're already in union in the divine realm and in the spiritual realm. You're already together. You already should know and feel that they love you. So this is why it's so important to not take ghosting personally. And I know that's hard. I'm going through it at the minute. I know it's fucking hard. It's really fucking hard. But ask yourself, what is it making you feel? It's nothing really what's external. It's all internal. What is this trigger trying to tell you? What part of you do need to heal? What do you need to do to break down those walls? Because as we're like going through this healing, as I said, and we're getting ghosted or we're getting this uncertainty, it's easy to revert back into that 3D mode. It's easy to revert back into that scared, insecure mode. And it's easy to put back up the walls. But the bigger we put the walls, the bigger the block. And until we break those walls down, and the reason for those walls down, that block is not going to be removed. This isn't them not wanting to see you or you not wanting to see them. This is divine intervention. This is the universe preventing the next meeting because you have to heal. And this is what we need to understand. We need to break down our walls. We need to heal the core wounds, face our demons, face that inner child wounding, and face that inner child trauma to get us to the next step of this journey. We cannot come into union until we're fully healed. We cannot allow them in if we don't break down those walls. The more we get triggered and upset by the ghosting and don't do that inner work, the bigger the walls get and the bigger the block gets, and the longer it will take for you to come back together. So ask yourself what this trigger is trying to tell you. What do you need to heal? What part of your inner child do you need to nurture? And how do you break down those walls? Because as it's mirrored energy, his walls are obviously up as well. And as you break down your walls, he will break down his walls. And that's where it all starts. It all starts with you. It starts with your healing, your growth, and your transformation. You become your best self so that they can become their best selves. And then the two of you can come into union as your best versions. And then you can help grow together. So find that love within yourself, heal those wounds within yourself, and break down those walls. And that will bring you closer to union, and that will prevent any more divine intervention. The more you heal, the more you grow, and the more they heal, and the more they grow. So thank you so much for listening today, and I really hope this resonates. If it does, please like and share, and please subscribe to my channel so I can reach as many people as possible. And if you'd like help on my journey, or in your journey, please book me for a discovery call today, and I would love nothing more than to help you on your path.